wanted to add an update to the Western themed AI demo here. My last video kind of showed a bunch of NPCs walking around town, um, and the way that worked is they each had a few different needs. Right now we're using hunger, energy, and fun. And based on those three needs that they have, they're going to walk around town and um, use different activity stations. One here for hunger, obviously, is the table. Um, so they'll come here to fill their hunger. The one for fun, I think we only have one currently, and that's the piano. So they'll come and sit here to fill their fun need. That's a hot commodity since there's only one fun need station for the whole town currently. And then, of course, we have beds for sleep. And we have this fully functioning saloon here. And we have another one, not as fancy looking, but same idea. Each table, for instance, is a place where the NPC can eat. The additions that were made since the last one, it was the last video that I made was basically just they would come to the station and they would fill their need, and the need would be filled, incrementally based on how long they were sitting there. It would slowly fill the bar, and then they'd move on to the next one. At this point, it is actually tied to resources. So we do have like a meat, beer, and fruit, for instance. So each table acts as a need station that will fill the player's need, and it also acts as a resource store that holds these. And just like real life, if there's no meat at the table or there's no resource, then the player can't feed its need. He'll see it as empty and he'll move on. He'll try to find another one. If he can't find another one and say hunger is his top need, for instance, he'll just move on to the next, his next priority need. So this is completely tied to resources now. And the way I have it set up is there's a feeder, I guess, which are these tables, and they currently feed the food resource. There will be other types of stations that will run off resources in the future. I also have another part of the addition that I made is basically like a farming system. So, obviously oranges don't grow on cactuses, but for the sake of showing this off, let's pretend they do. So these are basically just these cactuses contain these oranges as a resource. One guy is set up for his job to be picking these cactuses, gathering the oranges. So we have the grow points, which are the cactuses, and then we also he has a main resource store here, which will basically walk around and pick the fruit from the plant, deliver it here, and then also, so we have the inn here, and it has multiple different tables which will hold the resource, and the inn itself also has a main store where the resources are held. Um, so what will happen is, like any good inn, there's an innkeeper. Let's go ahead and play this. And he's around here somewhere. There's a guy assigned to be the innkeeper. So basically he's going to go stand behind the counter and kind of just hang out until he sees some tables are low, and he's going to act as a waiter. Once they're low, he's going to go and fill them up. As you can see, we have the NPCs here that are filling their hunger need, so that will go up, and at the same time their energy and fun will go down. So now we have the waiter here realizes that there's some food he needs to deliver. Once these get to a predetermined limit, it will trigger him to go deliver. He's probably going to go to the other end. And he will keep these tables going. So like I said, once they run out of food, the players will leave. They won't be able to eat anymore, and they start with 4 now, so typically they'll run out at the same time. When there's no food, they'll get up all together. So we have 2, 3 gone, and he just supplied it. So he just supplied it with 25 more. And he did this one, added some more to that. So now these are up and running again. But these guys are going to go fill some other needs that they have. Here's our farmer collecting, as you can see, and this is fully functioning. So this is actually, he's sticking it in his inventory. This particular guy has his inventory UI turned off at the moment, but most of them have basically what they're holding. And they are also spending money. So for each food they eat, as you can see, they're pulling it right out of their inventory and paying for that food, and it does go into the till for the inn. So it's a very, albeit rough version, but it is, technically a fully functioning economy here. So the inn, gets the money it makes from the players eating, and then also what you probably won't be able to see right now because it doesn't happen, but once in a while. It takes the inn a long time to run out of food, but once it does, once it gets to a certain trigger limit, just as the waiter decides to refill the tables at a certain point, these suppliers, such as the fruit supplier, will be triggered by that low food, and he will come to the inn and he will restock it, assuming that the inn has money in the till. So, yeah, fully functioning economy so far. Everything is, um, you know, NPCs filling their needs. These guys are sleeping. Their anchor points are a little off in this inn. I'll have to get to fix that. Um, but yeah, fully functioning resource exchange. This guy's spending some money. So yeah, that's where we're at. We'll be doing other things soon. There's a couple more jobs we're building off. This guy here is kind of like the train conductor. Um, the latest thing that I was, oh, here we go. So here's the cow milker, and he's completely out. But yeah, there you go. Looks like the cows are ran dry. Well, this one is. This one still has a whole bunch of milk. Works the same way as the cactuses. He's gonna come over here. We'll see how his animation's a little screwy, but there you go. Got some milk in his inventory. He's gonna bring it to his supply, wherever the heck that is. And same idea, he will restock the inn once it gets to a certain point, assuming that the inn has money, and the money will be exchanged. Now there's another part of town um, that these guys are going to. It's probably because their fun need has ran so low that they're trying to get to the poker tables across this part of town. One of the last things that I was working on, um, that was working last time I used it, but I think I have to make some tweaks. Is that so? These AI will actually queue. They'll queue their goals, and they can decide to use transportation. So, in a next video, I plan to showcase it. But I have a horse where basically the AI will calculate in its head if it's worthwhile to take a horse to reach its destination. Um, so we'll have a guy who'll run and he'll get on the horse, and his attempt to get all the way over here, he'll do the calculation, realize it makes sense to take a horse to get all the way over here, and he will take the horse to this hitching post, get off the horse, and head to the goal. So that probably include that in the next video. But here we are, latest update to the Western AI demo.